Well, good evening, and thank you for tuning in to another episode or a weekly show with Fathers Who Care. And as always, it is our pleasure to come back to you on CAN TV 21. Let me just give my thanks right now so I can get it out the way. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Amari. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Vernisha. Thank you, Everett. Thank you, Shania. Thank you, Nisha Nikwa. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Malik. What's the rest of the guy's name? The studio crew. Michael and Harry. Those are all of our young people who's running around this studio right now in these green shirts because they are part of a new production crew that we have here at CAN TV trying to teach these young folks the importance of media and give them the chance to be exposed to some good things in life. From the west side of Chicago over to the east side on the medical district, giving them some exposure. So listen, again, it's a pleasure to come back to you this week. And, of course, our concern is rather simple. We're trying to bridge the gap to promote a safe and drug-free community while saving our young people and our community. And we think that we can do all things through the Almighty that strengthens us. But most importantly, we want to just say to you, this show is going to be dedicated in two parts. One part, we were hoping that, and we hope that our senator will come in. She may be running a little bit behind schedule today, and I know she's probably trying to get in or just got in from Springfield or something. So if she make it in, then we're going to bring this show back over to another topic, which the topic would be what is the state of Illinois. But in the event she doesn't make it in, we're going to stay with the conversation that we're going to preference now. How can we engage our young people in community organizing and civic engagement? How can we engage our young people in community organizing and civic engagement? Our young people are constantly under the microscope, are constantly under attack, and constantly being held with peer pressure on what can they do, what should they do, why they do this, why they do that with their lives. Young people really have it bad. I mean, right now, young folks are going through too much. Listen, I deal with these young folks every day, and I need to tell you, sometimes I don't know which way they're going, one way or the other, because it seems like so many of these young folks want to express what they're going through, want to talk about it, but they just, what you want to call it, insecure about it?
No.
Don't feel good about it?
Don't feel like they can trust the people they're talking to.
Don't feel like they can trust the people that they're talking to. But they're carrying such a heavy load on them. So I just want to encourage those of you who are watching today to be a blessing to these young folks. Volunteer. Each one, teach 1 hour, 1 week. One person, you, teach 1 week, 1 hour, 1 week.
Yes.
And I believe you'll make the world of a difference in a person's life. But with that being said, let's get on into this show. Of course, look, it's no surprise our guest this evening. Our guest this evening is none other than our very own Youth Council President, the West Garfield Park Youth Council President, Vernisha Jones. And she stepped into the gap to kind of help us out tonight to talk about what can we do to empower, to engage more young folks in community organizing and civic engagement, being actively involved in the community. So with that being said, Vernisha, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for what you've been doing. Thank you for all that you do.
Yes.
And I love you.
I love you too.
I love you more. And I think you're going to make a fine young lady. I think you're going to do well in this world. Just continue to do the right thing and continue to know nothing in life is easy.
Yeah, you got to work for everything you get.
Absolutely. And the harder you work for something, the more you get, but the more you're prone to keep it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Vernisha. I'm the president of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. I'm 20 years old. I attend Malcolm X College. I work 2 jobs. I'm just a young person on the west side of Chicago trying to make a difference and trying to do something with my life, basically, and not looking for a free handout.
And I'm so proud of you when you say that you're juggling 2 jobs. And, it's rough to do that. But, once you get the hang of it, it's really a cinch. Put a couple hours here, put a couple hours there, learn skills. It's more like you going through an adventure.
Yeah.
It's more like you being empowered to do better in life or to add on different skills and tools.
So I don't get lazy.
Okay, you sound like you know something.
Yes, I do.
So tell me what's going on with the West Garfield Park Youth Council. What they're doing these days?
So we're basically trying to get our group back up and running. We got youth that's coming in where we're basically trying to get everybody back in the groove. We're trying to plan a TV show. I mean, a talent show. We're trying to plan a talent show coming up. And just basically, you just got to
Well, so you do have the young folks now.
Yes.
The young folks are back actively involved. They're meeting every day.
Yeah.
The council meeting is still on Mondays at 4:30.
Yeah.
The young people are actively involved, trying to find themselves doing good stuff, and most of you all now are working.
Yes.
All right. So some of you all are getting stipends for job readiness skills and learning job readiness skills and being trained on how to retain, secure, and keep a job. Right.
Mhm.
So that's good stuff, huh?
Yes.
And then
it
you guys are also learning pledges and other information on anti-violence initiatives, right?
is. Yes.
So that's a good thing, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you something. What do you feel about the state of the west side of Chicago? Do you feel safe?
I honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
I feel normal.
You feel it's normal, huh?
Yeah, I feel like the stuff that, like, honestly, it don't scare me. Like, everything that's going on don't really scare me. I look at it like, okay, it's going. I know it's gonna happen. So, it's not something I'm scared of or something that I'm afraid of. Like how I'm scared of the South Side. On the West Side, I'm not scared, even though I know it's so much killing and stuff. It's just like something I know is gonna happen.
So you say you're not afraid of it's like the norm.
Yeah, I know it's gonna happen.
And I hate that. I hate for you to think just anything is
It's
okay. Because anything's not okay. And I'm saying to you that I wish seriously that young folks wasn't caught up or had to be subjected to all of these things that's going on in the neighborhood that keep you all locked out and keep you all confused and bewildered. I'm really saying that I think it's real important that you young folks have an opportunity to be young people, and not have to grow up too fast. Being parents too soon, being caught up and have to go out there in the street and have to defend yourself because of an ego. Your ego. They didn't do nothing to you. You just had an ego. So let's go into the show right now. We got a caller. Let's see who the caller is. We got a caller, right? Go ahead, caller. You on the air?
Yes, I kind of, at first I said I had a question, but I don't have a question. I more so have a comment because I just heard what Miss Bernicia said when she said, she's not scared because what's going to happen is going to happen.
Right.
And I just want to say to Bernicia, that's scary to me.
Ain't it?
Because a lot of youth feel the way that you do. Now, in this new generation, the youth feel as if, and a lot of them feel that way, feel as if, death and everything that goes on in life is normal. And it's really not normal, and that's what's scary. The scary part is that you all do not fear what is out there. And there's so much going on out there. And I just, I want to finish listening to the show, but I just want to let you know that you really kind of stirred me up a little bit when I heard you say that, because so many youth feel the way you do.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you called in and shared that information with her, because I thought it was something else for her to just say that whatever's going on in the community is okay with them. We have another guest. What happened? Senator, how you doing? I love you. we just had some young folks in, just keeping your chair kosher till you got here.
Okay.
But we're so delighted to see you, Senator. We had some young folks. Our youth council president, of course, was talking about the state of the West Side.
Okay.
And so since you're here, of course, we would like to stay in that vein, but we want to take it to the next level, and we want to talk about the state of Illinois. But before we do that, we want to kind of introduce you. I personally know you, and I just want to introduce you to the viewing audience here. And I want to ask the viewing audience, when you get a chance, please call into, I think, one of the best senators this side of the Jordan. Okay. All right, I'm talking about the Jordan River. All right, Senator Kimberly Lightford. Now, if you all don't know Senator Lightford, you need to know Senator Lightford. Senator Lightford, of course, is the senator of the 4th Senatorial District. She's the Assistant Majority Leader. She's the chairwoman of the Joint Black Caucus. I mean, she has a passion this huge for education, for educating folks, for mental health, for trauma, for trying to help those who are working but under minimum wages. Senator, you are the one that kind of motivated me. I'm just telling you, motivated me with this mental health mission I've been on.
Amen.
You have motivated me on that because I personally have seen the passion that you've been trying to share with folks and enlighten folks with this stigma about mental health and trauma and all of that. And you've been feverishly working on it, and you don't get the credit that I think that is due you. But I thank God that because of you, folks now are legislating, folks now are putting dollars into mental health.
Yes, it's so neat.
I think it's a blessing that they're doing it. And you know, that's what it takes. It takes some of us, I stand on your shoulders, and I warmly do it, because you set the tone. And because you set the tone, it hit my heart, because that's something that I was thinking about, but I didn't have your platform.
Well, you know, we take mental health lightly. We take depression, we take stress, and we have a family member or even ourselves, we're just, oh, he crazy, or she crazy, and we
loosely
laugh it
just
off,
throw it out there,
and we laugh it off.
Right.
But mental health is a serious issue. It should be treated that way. It shouldn't be a stigma in the African American community or any other community. And we have to bring more awareness, and we have to put more dollars behind mental health. And what I was able to do, which is something I'm really proud of.
The legislation?
Yes, it took well over a year or so to do it, but so now when you take your children to have their physical health checked,
I remember,
you should also have their mental health checked, because if a child's healthy but they don't have their mental stability, it's only going to create hardships along the way.
And you talked about that so long, and you had been talking about it and talking about it.
Finally got it.
So is this the piece that you was talking about when we talked about the benchmarks and things?
Yes, this is absolutely that piece. So
you know, that was like 3 or 4 years ago.
I know, but it takes time to convince. Here's the issue. You have 59 senators who come from all over the state who have different ideals and about how to manage things. The needs that you have in your community may not be the needs in their community. You've got to convince those other senators that this is a dire need. And then when that measure passes the Senate, now you have to convince the House. Well, and so it's been a challenge.
Well, but I'm glad you stayed the course.
Yes.
Because that's how legislation work. It don't work overnight.
Right.
It takes time that you have to get the body in order, get the argument out there, get this legislation, get the drafts, get all of that stuff. So folks don't quite understand. Everything takes time. But the beauty of it is
patience.
Yeah, patience. But the beauty is there.
And diligence.
You did it.
It's done.
It's done.
It's done.
And so now, literally, I kid you not, Senator, everywhere I go, Illinois Department of Public Health, Chicago Department of Public Health, all these facilities on the street, now they're talking. And not only are they talking, they're coming together.
Amen.
So I think it's a wonderful thing. And I just sit back and I just say,
well, I'm going to stay on it because this was just the beginning.
Absolutely.
There's so much more to do in mental health, and there's so much more to do for our communities to gather around the understanding.
Okay.
When that woman walked into Congressman Davis' office,
ooh, that was heavy, wasn't it?
And put hand sanitizer on herself and lit herself up, if she lit me up, my fire was lit even more to say, I know I'm doing the right thing. I have to get this done.
Absolutely.
This coming school year, starting in August of this school year, it would be a part of the Department of Public Health's form for children when they go for their physical exam for kindergarten, 5th grade, 8th grade, and I believe it's 9th grade. So it's important that we also want to make sure. Now, it's not to put a stigma on the kid at school. It's to notify the parent that perhaps your kid is in this gray area. You might want to get them additional help. You might want to check it out. It empowers the family to make decisions earlier on so that they can circumvent suicide, teen suicide, challenges with bullying, all kind of things.
So preemptive,
it's totally preventive. It's totally.
So Senator, I think we got a call. Can we entertain some calls?
Please.
Caller, you on the air with Senator Kimberly Lightford. Your comment or question, please.
Hello, Senator. How are you?
Hi, I'm hanging in.
And thank you for calling.
Okay, I got a question. Should we, as citizens, should we be afraid of what is to take place with the different insurance and stuff that's going on with the Obamacare and whatnot? Should we be afraid of it being taken away from us?
Wow.
Or should we worry, or what should we do?
Well,
I guess
first thing is
talking
I
about
don't
the
want you to
Affordable Care
worry.
Act.
Right. I
Right.
don't want you to worry. And I don't know if afraid is the right word, but I want us to be aware and informed and begin to ask those questions of how does this impact my plan? And where do I need to go and who do I need to speak with so that I can understand the impact that it has on me so that I can do corrective measures and make sure I'm in line so that my family can still have quality health care.
But people are thinking that way, though, Senator.
They are, but
Some
the
folks
last thing we
are
can do is live in fear. We can't live in fear. We have to respond to the
and
Trump
unite.
administration
And unite.
and fight our butts off. I almost said something else, Reverend Jones,
and I hope you go ahead and get loose when you feel like it.
Stop living in fear and being afraid of what that next person's going to do and rally around each other and support each other and find the best things that we can do to keep our community strong.
We got another call.
And we have to have quality health care to get it done.
Caller, you on the air, and you can just take the conversation the way you choose.
Okay.
Do we have another caller?
Yes, sir.
Yes, your comment or question, please.
I have a question for the senator.
Sure.
I was just wondering, why aren't there activities at school anymore?
Activities.
That keep kids off the street.
Okay.
So what school,
Thank you.
can you talk a little more? What school?
Like CPS schools, you know.
CPS schools.
So, I can't answer that question to why they're not there because CPS has funding to provide after-school programs. They have funding to ensure that kids receive supplemental services. So I'm not exactly sure of what's the hang-up. They receive Title I funds from the federal government.
That's the No Child Left Behind.
Yeah. Prior to No Child Left Behind, it's because it's a low-income or low-impoverished school district.
Okay.
They receive a different type of set-aside. And so I'm not exactly sure why the school that you're particularly in don't have supportive services.
So why they keep talking about
But you can
the schools not having funding? They keep laying off.
Well, some of the schools let me put it this way. So you get a lump sum of money, and CPS is the largest school district in the state, hands
About $1 billion.
down. And they've been shortchanged. So you need 100, but they only give you $50.
Okay.
So you have to figure out how to best spend that $50.
Okay.
What we've got to convince CPS to do is spend that $50 on the west side and the south side and stop putting in magnet schools and schools
On the north side.
Amen. And schools that do very well already and that don't need that help and that supplemental service.
Okay.
So that's the real issue. Now, we have not funded CPS at the level from the state that we
Right.
should have. We owe them money. We owe everybody money. And thank you, Governor Rauner, for putting us in this
So
biggest
this what you
budget
do now.
fiscal crisis
So now,
that we've
won't you
ever
just
been
go
in.
that way? Because that's what we
Yes.
want. So you just flow where you're going. What is the state of the state, and why is
We're in
there
a
such a
crisis.
problem? Why is there such a problem in the state? We don't know what to think about the state budget or lack of state budget. What is the state of the state? You was going that way. Go
We're in a
ahead.
crisis, and it's a terrible state to be in. The governor provided a State of the State address that was not true and real to where we really are. Our budget deficit has climbed back up. Years ago, we did a tax increase to pay down our budget deficit. We were at $11 billion deficit. We paid it down to $3 billion. Social service agencies was under near a 30-day cycle that hadn't happened in a very long time, and now we're losing our social service agencies because they're not being adequately funded. We're losing all of our programs. Our university system is struggling because we're not paying them. MAP grant is at risk because we're not giving our young people an opportunity to gain a higher education. The state of the state is ruined. It's a mess. The governor went beyond. The governor went beyond shaking up the state. He has caused devastation in families all across this state, and it has significantly impacted low-income, poverty, black communities, people who need the help the most.
Senator, let's take another call, and please
Let's
keep
do,
that
because
passion.
you get me upset.
I ain't trying to get you upset. You say I got you upset?
Yes.
The caller asked the question.
Thank you, caller.
And I just put a little stuff on it because we knew, listen closely, we knew that you was going to tell us the facts.
This is the truth.
And this is why you're here, to
Okay.
tell us the facts. Calling you on the air with Senator Kimberly Lightford.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sitting next to you. You know what gets me, man, is that everybody gets up on TV and blames everybody else. Chicago schools have been underfunded for the last 20 years.
Okay.
But guess what? They want to blame Rauner. Why?
I don't know that that's true. The Chicago public schools have not been underfunded for the last 20 years from the state perspective. I've been in the General Assembly for 18 years, and CPS has had adequate funds over the years. Their administration perhaps have not disseminated the money properly, but it is Rounder's fault right now. I'm talking about the governor who has not passed the budget for the last 2 years. I'm talking about a stopgap budget that just ended January 31st. None of our agencies will be funded in the next 6 months.
Are you going to filibuster or can I say something?
No, you started out by saying that CPS hadn't been properly funded in 20 years, and we're blaming Rauner, and that's not true.
Answer me. Listen, Rauner was there, Blagojevich was there, all the other ones were there, and there was trouble.
Okay, what's your question, though, sir?
My question is, why blame only Rauner?
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you so much for your question. You want
So
to answer that?
I can answer that because there may not have been a perfect union, but there could have been other troubles and other problems that CPS has had through the last 2 decades. But the one that I'm speaking of right now is the lack of money that we've given them in our state budget that's caused a budget hole. And so that's all I can say.
So let's get back to the question. I don't mean to get you upset, but I don't mind you getting upset. I want to know. All right? Is there a budget?
No.
There's no budget.
There is no budget.
What are we working with then?
We're not working with any parameters of anything. We need revenue, Reverend Jones. We need to generate revenue. The Senate...
Are you talking about like taxes?
That's one option. More options like corporate tax loopholes that we're looking at. We're looking at gaming. We're looking at different revenue streams that we can put a package together. And we're looking at pension obligations so that we can reform our pension system, which will free money up over here to put over here if we get a handle on that. So it's a number of things that will help make up a revenue package.
Folks, now, and we trust you with that. We trust you in your position that you are as the chairman of the Joint Caucus. We trust you as the senator and assistant majority leader. We trust you to keep your hands on the plow and to do due diligence in Springfield. That's why you're there, right? However, we want to know this. In spite of all of the stuff that's going on down there in Springfield, how is it possible that we can continue to pay taxes here in the state? We're paying our taxes, but yet social service agencies, mental health facilities are constantly being closed or not receiving the funding.
Exactly. So you have this budget where you have bills that are constitutionally have to be paid. So those bills get paid first. And then you have what you call discretionary dollars and what's left over. DHS budget and all those social service programs that we care about and that help our communities are in the discretionary dollars of what's left over. And there is not any leftover right now. There's no leftover money to go towards these programs.
Okay, we got a caller, Senator.
Okay.
Come on, caller. We have Senator Lightford. Your caller, please.
Yes, Ms. Lightford, got another question for you. I work for the Board of Education, and I want to know, because right now we're going through a thing with the Board of Education where they're giving us furlough days to the point where we're not getting paid. Does this have something to do with trying to...
You may have opened up a can of worms there.
You know, because, I mean, they're giving us days, like tomorrow is one of our days.
Okay, here you go.
We would normally work.
Okay, but what's your question? Go back to your question. I think I might have missed it. What you say?
I want to know if these furlough days that are being given to us that we will not be able to work and get paid and feed our families. Does this have something to do with one of the ways that the governor is trying to kind of mend the budget?
Okay, hold on for a second. Let's get
in our pocket.
Okay, hold on for a second. Now you're talking about CPS, which is the city, all right?
Yeah.
And you're talking about CPS, which is the city, and state colleges, which is the governor, all right? Now go ahead, Senator.
So are you a part of the Chicago Teachers Union?
No.
No.
But I work for the Board of Education.
Okay, so you're in administration. So apparently they've cut back. I needed to understand where your funding was coming from. So apparently they are cutting back on administration and they're trying to find ways to bring their numbers down so that they can come up with a balanced budget. So that's why they're giving you the furlough days. But let me say this to you.
And go ahead and bring it in, because tell them the truth.
I got to tell you, I understand feeling threatened, not having income to support your family. I'm in the same boat. As legislators, we have not been paid for 8 months. And so not 8 furlough days, not 8 weeks, 8 months. And so I understand the risk of feeling like, how do I survive? And I don't know how I'm surviving. Other than having a family that love and support me, and
when you do right come back.
Right does come back to you, and doors open that you never knew that were available to you.
That's favor, sister.
It's oh God, you're just covered by the blood, and we'll go
it
to
is
church.
what it is. Say
We'll
the
end up
truth.
going to
Say the
church
truth.
here in a minute.
It's the truth.
But let me just say that I would encourage you to go talk to the administration and find out, what's the budget impact on employees in administration, and how many furlough days do you guys need to take total to fill their budget hole, because that's what they're doing.
Listen, you're watching Fathers Who Care with our guest this evening, Senator Kimberly Lightford, Assembly A. Lightford of the 4th Senatorial District. Listen, this has been totally enlightening, and we want to stay in this conversation. But Senator, there's only so much we can do other than to unify and rally and speak truth to falsehood. And so what we're trying to do is continuously educate these young folks.
Yes.
To keep these young folks actively involved.
And we need our young people.
And we got to educate.
Yes.
And you are, in my opinion, and I know it to be the truth, because I've been following you for years. You are a champion in the field of education. Folks don't even know that your passion is education.
It is.
And you believe that's the only way to end poverty. Is the key. Education is the key. That's your slogan. That's your statement to end poverty.
It's civil rights. It's our civil rights. It's our basic civil right to have a quality education presented to us, no matter where we live,
And
no matter our community, our zip code, what part of the state we own. The system itself, the institution, owe us a quality education system.
You got another call, Senator, and when we come back, please take it on to the education, or you can talk to us about civic engagement.
Okay.
I mean, folks are losing hope, or say they losing hope. I don't know why they even think that way, just because you got Trump in there. You saw it coming, all right? So I say to you,
feel the burn, right?
Yeah.
You're burning now, baby.
Yeah, you feel it now. But I'm saying to you now, in spite of what you think is going on there, we got a God who's bigger than that. And if we stick together and rally together,
we have to.
It's time.
We're at a point where it's time out for nonsense. It's time out for I don't like you, you don't like me, my organization bigger, you're smaller. Hey, we're at risk. We're in a crisis. Our communities are failing. We need to galvanize. We have to work together. We need to lift our young people up and encourage them to take a stand. We need to be their support.
Senator, we got about a few seconds. Tell us, if folks, what do you got going on? We got to close up in about 30 seconds.
So I'm in a fight.
Thank you so much.
I'm in a fight. I encourage you, if you can't come to Springfield, to contact your legislator through emails, through phone calls, contact the governor's office, be a voice. Civic engagement is really important. Make sure that you know what it is your community needs and how to advocate for your rights. I'm your voice in Springfield. Many legislators who think like you do, live like you do, who are part of the community. I live in the village of Maywood since 1972. The community has changed drastically, and I am hanging on and holding on and fighting for that community and our communities just like it. So that's what I'll be doing, and that's what I encourage you to do, and you can call my office and we can work together and try to figure
for
this out.
additional information for the Senator, give us a call or talk at 773-287-5821. Also, there's a big event coming up on the 5th over there with Dorothy Brown and Rainbow Push on engagement, community engagement, and all that other good stuff. So for additional information, again, give us a call. It's been a stone blast. Thank you, Senator. God bless you all for what you do and why you do it. And we look forward to seeing you in the neighborhood, in the trenches. See you soon. Good night.
Thank you.